agree to do just 4 years. It is easier said than done. If you agree that Obi should do 4 years and give the power back to the northern Nigeria in that kind of arrangement, that will be because Obi has no executive power yet. When he becomes the president of Nigeria, it won't be that easy to just say, yeah, come out. And with the caliber or the kind of person Obi is and his followers who are so organic, he cannot be intimidated by this north, that, if he has the presidential power. So now, should they gamble it and just trust him as a gentleman that is going to support somebody from the north in 2031 and just do 4 years? Or go and bring Jonathan back to PDP and use whatever leverage they want to use against Tinubu, use it for the same Jonathan, which legally he can no longer contest after that if he becomes the Jonathan is, more or less like comfortable with the, with the life that all of you have given to him. He's obnobbing with Tinubu and others. Where do you think that is coming from? Almost somebody went on TV to say it too. Daily Trust. On Daily Trust, listen to this. That they should bring Jonathan back and just the pathway for northern Nigeria to get back to power. It is about power for them in that northern, the elite of northern Nigeria in this their coalition. It is purely about power. But they can't tell you about power. They can't say power. This coalition thing for them is about power. It's about power leaving the hand of Tinubu, who has now become the most powerful man in Nigeria. So they got played. That's exactly what it is. They feel like they got played. However, I'm talking about those of them who went to go and join their coalition or putting this coalition together. So they believe that they could get rid of Tinubu, but won't they get played again? If they decide to go and gamble that again, and they get played again, even though they claim to actually know politics and all that. So in between, where did the thought of Egbere Jonathan coming back to challenge Tinubu coming from? It tells you more that within that their circle, 2 years out of power, 4 years maybe, or 8 years out of power, we have to do something, including even if we have to go and apologize to Egbere Jonathan to come back and please come and help us contest against Kolu. How you want to listen to him?
But if the party insists that it is only to the south, then perhaps maybe my best choice will be to zone it to the south.
Right. Okay. There's a big conversation in the grapevine around certain movements. Now that Atiku is out of the picture, at least for the PDP, right? P2B, we've been hearing some speculations here and there that the PDP is likely warning him back to say, listen, the coast is clear. You have a shot if the ticket is zoned to the south. We're also hearing a possible re-entry of former President Goodluck Jonathan back into the mix. What do you think about those speculations and whether or not they make sense for the PDP?
Well, for the PDP and for the North, those speculations could be true and they could be false. But be as it may, I will prefer that President Jonathan, takes the ticket. Not because I do not like Obi, but because that will ensure that the South will have completed their 4 years. When somebody is on the throne, you elect him. You can't pin him down and say, okay, you must do 4 years.
But Peter Obi is on record saying he can do 4 years and bow out.
Well, it's just a political talk, because
you don't trust him.
No, I don't. It's not about trusting him. The issue is, how are you sure that thing will materialize?
Yeah, but he said it.
No,
we expect that for a man who has a lot of stock in integrity, his word would be his bond.
What I'm taking is this way: the difference between somebody making a promise and somebody who is compelled by the law that he must leave. Which one will you take? This one is compelled by the law. He does not need to make any promise. He has to go after 4 years. This one is making a promise. A promise can be kept and may not be kept. Either way. But on this one, you are sure that it must be kept. So for the North, I think Goodluck Jonathan is the best choice.
And how serious are you taking these speculations? Are they real, or are they just the imagination of people who just want to speculate?
Yeah, this is political permutations. They are not. They may be real or may not be real. But in politics, you don't. But if
you won't need a car to travel, you won't need an aeroplane to travel. You will just say, I want to go to London. And you'll be in London. Whether you believe it or not.
You won't need a car to travel. Oh. Sorry about that. Yeah. However, Bolaji Abdullahi, who happened to be the interim spokesperson for their coalition, was on a rise this evening, and he did mention something about Obi and his involvement with them. His words were pretty much like, no matter what anybody says, Obi is with them, and that's all he can say. While others are wondering why he hasn't resigned from Labour Party and joined them officially like others. Others are saying, no, you have to look before you leap, right? So don't leap before you look, whatever that means in this political sense, all right? We'll see. So Bolaji Abdullahi, listen to this.
A major party in this country. I don't know if you know, for instance, that the PDP is now openly wooing the likes of Peter Obi to return to their fold. And given that the PDP, as we mentioned earlier, still has reasonably solid structures across this country, several governorships under its belt, I mean, do you agree that that could well be a more attractive prospect for Peter Obi than the ADC coalition, which has so far been unable to attract a single governor to the fold?
Let me say clearly that Peter Obi is in the coalition, regardless of what anybody else is saying. But it is good to see that it has taken the coming on board of ADC to get PDP to begin to make some movements. But everyone knows that the jugular of PDP is still in the hands of the ruling party. Everyone knows that. Peter Obi, more than anyone else, knows that he cannot take the risk of going to the PDP, because PDP, and I'll give you an example. When the governor of, the former governor of Delta, Okowa, left PDP to join the APC, who welcomed him in the APC? Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Wike, that is presumably still in the PDP, right? You see PDP governors leaving their parties every day to join the ruling party. You hear PDP governors endorsing President Tinubu as their preferred candidate for 2027. You see PDP bigwigs saying that they no longer believe in this party because they believe that the party has been compromised. So, but like I said, it probably requires ADC to come on board to get PDP to begin to make some movements. But everyone knows in this country today, you can conduct a poll. Ask Nigerians, which party do they recognize as the de facto opposition party? I have no doubt in my mind that the answer will be ADC.
Well, I mean, obviously.
So maybe we should do that. Conduct a poll and ask Nigerians. Anyway, I'll leave that. So the next one now is a conversation around the GMO. I'm not going to say much because somehow, right, when I discovered that, as much as a lot of us are campaigning and raising awareness against the, this GMO of the thing, having or asking the people in authority to please like protect the people, like we have here, let people have the choice and all that stuff. So then the campaign to ram it down the throat of everyone and all that. Then I discovered that since 2018, this their GMO thing has been spreading. So now Nigerians started conversation around it again. Yeah, just a few days ago. And it became so tense online, right? However, I think this conversation now popped up or somehow or popped up on in their meeting in their National Assembly, this caucus meeting and all that, right? I don't know what they had the conversation to that level, or people who are like against the GMO, those who are campaigning against it, and those who are campaigning in support of it, right? So they are both in the chamber facing the committee that is probably looking into it. What I think, anyway. So in the process, one of the lawmakers, I believe, or maybe one of those who came to defend GMO, just kind of like retorted like, hey, everybody's talking about GMO will kill this, GMO will kill that, and the rest of that, right? Well, people are hungry in Nigeria. If you eat, you will die. If you don't eat, you will die. So why not just eat GMO and die? He actually said that inside Nigeria National Assembly, but not in the chamber, but in one of those their caucus rooms, right? Listen to this.
If you eat and die, it's better than not to eat and die.
Who said GMOs are safe? When the active gene in DT modification, cry protein 1B, are not being recovered from fetal and maternal blood, who said it's safe? What they have and what the world has presented to us as genetically modified food is cooked bomb that will blow when you take it.
Food can be a weapon, and it's a weapon. He who controls your food can control your society. He who controls your seed can control the life and will control the earth.
Genetically modified organisms that we are referring to here in Nigeria are transgenic. That means genes are exported from other organisms across species barriers into organisms that they were not supposed to be there. There is a republished research by Professor Seralini that proves that GMOs cause tumors and cancers.
If you
eat, you die. If you don't eat, you die. Just eat and die. So that was kind of the conversation around the GMO. Those who were for, those who were against it, and the rest. And at the end of the day, it is all just performative, theatric. Because my finding says since 2018, not until 2018, they said the promoters of this genetically modified organism, right, this GMO, they have been at it since 2001. 2001. And every government since then rejected them. They did everything, bribe journalists, the media, paid some, some crooked Nigerians to begin to organize seminars, explanation. They infiltrated a lot of places to try to inject it into your system, but not until 2018. And under who? Under Bokwari APC. Egbekegbe. Right now, their GMO seed is kind of like spreading from what I read. They now have thousands of farmers who are now taking them up and growing them. Again, I am not an expert on it, okay? So the conversation around it is also trending in Nigeria right now, raging, you could say. So now let's leave that. Let's stop by in Enugu, where Mba, Yeah, the prayer man. I mean, sorry, the praying mantis. That's what Umba, the praying mantis of Enugu, right? So Umba has given this hostel water, and people are still kind of like talking. I'll tell you what people are saying. They said they've not seen water for a while, and therefore it just constructed what looks like public water, right? Like the old days. But people said they could have done better.
Have you fallen sick before because of this water? Have you seen any student that fell sick because of this water? But when you use it, has it affected you before? Thank you. How about you? Can you share your testimony?
My name is Bebo. I'm studying geography and mining. And wanted left. And enjoying this water for a while.
So is the water clean?
Yes.
Are you paying for this water? I mean, is anybody charging you for this water? Yes. You are enjoying it free of charge?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Has any student ever died out of a water-borne disease or cholera or typhoid because of dirty water? They said this water is dirty. How dirty is it? How clean is it?
I've not heard of such before.
Have you been paying for this? If you want to fetch, somebody collects money from you. It's free for everybody. Okay, today is 22nd July 2025. Currently, in Esut, one of the hostels, and this is
Baba Clown, you know. So they said the Umba of Enugu is one of the, you know, highest paying, or should I say highest spender when it comes to the propaganda machine that he pushes out there. All right. So there's a water project that was supposed to have covered the entire Enugu by now, but it's still ongoing. And some people said, why didn't they? I mean, that was an hostel. So why didn't they just run the water into their hostels where they could actually really use the water there than to, you know, have to come to that place, fetch the water, carry the buckets? Like, why must everything always, you know? Because that same construction could take all those pipes into their bathrooms, into their kitchen, and all that upstairs in those rooms. It would have been wonderful. But hey, people say you should be thankful. While Mbai is paying a lot of money to influencers on social media, many of them do go to Enugu to celebrate what he is building, including modern schools that they said he's building, road construction. While others in Enugu as well, like, nah, you need to come and see the substandard stuff these guys are building here. Substandard. Forget about what they are putting on social media all the time. It is not always like that all over the place. So we should be blamed, the contractor or the government. Take a look at this one. Oh, that's another one. That's far from Enugu. I should have listed it. Anyway, I have another one though. Okay. So we have, and my time is actually running out. Now let's stop by in Anambra because it's Solodom time. I think he was out campaigning. I don't know. Maybe he was out campaigning or he was out receiving a chieftaincy title. And they were talking about zoning and all that. Yeah, it's actually a campaign. So zoning in Anambra, where Solodom is currently reminding everybody that zoning in Anambra was actually started by Obi. I don't know why. That has to be part of the convo, right? But here is a Solodom on his own campaign trail. Very brief.
And I want to remind you of the Anambra Central. And remind all Anambra people that we have zoning system in Anambra. Anambra, we're getting zoning system. The zoning was started when Governor Peter Obi was governor. Anambra people, all stakeholders, traditional rulers, town unions, women leaders, youths, everybody agreed that for there to be order in the governance of the state, equity, fairness, that would institutionalize